Welcome. Deb Sheppard live here on Wednesday.
Almost on this one.
Dana's let me know which ones are on, so it's kind of like deja vu live.
Okay, now you're live.
Welcome to Deb Sheppard Facebook Live. It's Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. Can you believe where's time going? But we're here again. We missed last Wednesday, so if you were thinking, what happened? Did I miss it? Well, we were in Monterey. Dana married me. I don't think she was expecting that. On Monday, and we flew back, so it was really romantic. We were still waiting for the honeymoon to take place, but after almost 7 years. Yeah. So
did you get teary-eyed?
I got a little teary-eyed.
Oh, I love you.
Actually, just something. There's dust in my eyes, so we have a little drink so I don't cry. So welcome. Let us know if you're a follower. We just want to do some shout outs. I am also going to talk about listening to the language of the universe. This was something I did. It was about 45 to 50 minutes on a Zoom to the center that we do work there. It's called the Center for Spiritual Awakening. Fabulous place. And it's in Pacific Grove. Dana and I just love this place. And you can catch the whole talk. I'm trying to think of the word of it. That's about 45 minutes, but we're going to kind of talk a little bit about it today, and of course do some readings and some shout outs and support everyone behind the scenes and tell you guys what's going on. But we talk about, in listening to the universe, the language of the universe is really paying attention to things around us. And people want to know, how do I listen? How do I pay attention? And one of the first things I talk about is your roommate that seems to talk you out of everything, that downer one. We're going to call Larry, and we would put Larry aside. So that's some of the things we're going to talk about, is how to calm that left brain so your right brain can hear the universe, and paying attention to all your surroundings so that you can hear messages, whether it's from your guides or your loved ones, from the universe, whatever you're looking to hear, whatever you want to call it. But it was a lot of fun. In this 45-minute talk, I give 6 or 7 stories. And I think we learn a lot by having stories so that we can reflect back on there, because data and information and doing meditations and all those kind of things can be very left brain, and we can feel very frustrated that we're not getting it right. So the stories are a way to relax the body, listen, and tune in to a little deeper level. Do we have any shout outs? Anyone here saying hi?
Lots of people. Everybody's saying congratulations.
Yeah, she what has been like 9 days. So I guess it can still be annulled if she wants to run.
I don't think there's a chance of that.
So everyone goes, well, was the plan? What happened? Basically, we decided last minute. We went to Macy's. Can we talk about Macy's here? Macy's
Sure.
and Market is. They're fluid. They're open. Bought some dresses, bought some quick bands, and wrote our vows like 2 hours before, and went down to the beach, spent an hour and a half on our hair. As soon as we got out of the car, it went like this, which means you can't control everything, right? Just go in and have fun. But Colleen officiated our wedding, and her husband, beautiful man, Dan, took all the pictures, and we have a few to show for it at some point. I think you posted them on.
Yeah, they're
Facebook page.
They're actually on your Facebook page.
Yeah, so we are registered. Commenting. We can let you all know where we're registered to buy gifts. It's called Hawaii. We're not registered. We're too old to be registered. Funny. We have too much stuff. But good wishes is all really great. However, also, any shout outs. And what we really liked is that Obama and Michelle were married 30 years on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool.
That was a fun anniversary to
have
on the day we got married.
So if we forget it, we'll just see what their anniversary is, and we'll remember. That's how I'm going to do it from now on.
Oh my gosh. So lots of congratulations, but just a couple shout outs. Let's see here. We've got Carly from Monterey. She said she's been following you since she saw you in a group reading in Monterey.
Thank you.
So thank you. That's wonderful. We got KD on YouTube saying congratulations. Christine on YouTube saying congrats. So lots of well wishes. So we really appreciate that and the support.
And then text in there, like where we're registered.
Okay.
And where to send gifts to.
Let me just send our email. Just email us gift cards. Just kidding.
Yeah, gift cards.
Just kidding.
Absolutely.
And then we have Becca Farmer. She said, I totally contribute to a Hawaiian honeymoon for
you.
Yeah,
she probably wants to go with, right?
Oh, she's been a long time follower, I think.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the.
Just so you know, Dana's never been married, so
never wanted
I'm
to
pretty
be.
lucky.
Never wanted
I think it's my 9th or 10th.
Oh God. Well, I mean, if it was, it'd be fine.
Yeah, no.
But I got you now.
I've had a couple.
And then on Instagram, just some shout outs there too. If you guys, the Instagram handles are all so fun to see, but I don't know your names. So from that, if you're here to get a reading, I always just like to say, if you're on Instagram, Deb does readings here shortly. She's going to talk about the topic, but you'll do readings shortly.
Mm-hmm. And if you're new, behind the scenes, who I married is actually a real person. Her name is Dana. And then also behind the scenes is Elizabeth. So we have a crew behind the scenes that's always orchestrating this. And if you haven't seen our new show, Grieving to Believing, they're also behind the scenes making this all work too. So I'm in gratitude.
It's a fabulous show. The 4th episode comes out tomorrow morning.
I wonder which one. I'll have to find out.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
So, Karen Kinzer says, she's on Facebook. She says, I was just waiting for you, Deb. That's why I haven't been married yet.
Oh, yeah.
True story. So, okay, so for the readings, I always like to say this real quick because Elizabeth chooses randomly who's going to come on live with Deb and who's going to receive a reading. So if you're on Instagram, share your first name and the first name of your loved one that you want to connect with, along with their relationship to you. If it's a child's generation, so your child, niece, nephew, a younger generation, Deb always asks for their age in this format because it helps her connect easier and quicker with their energy in this type of format.
There's a lot of people in my head.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on.
It's a party. It's a party in your head. On. And then same thing for Facebook and YouTube. First name of your loved one you want to connect with, along with their relationship. If it's child's generation, share their age. And that way Elizabeth can get that going. And then go, Deb.
She's become bossy now that she's married. She feels like she can just tell me what to do. So we're going to have some counseling.
We're going to have to talk about this.
Yeah, we're going to have some counseling right away after 7 years. Okay, so the topic, if you're just joining us, is called Listening to the Language of the Universe. And in my mentoring program, and what I have believed in is that the universe is always communicating with us. It's just that we don't always pay attention, or we're in that fear. We have that self-talk of, all the negative things that's going to happen, and what are you thinking, and not trusting. And because of our experiences in our past, we don't always trust that process that we're going through. And when I did this engagement, or this talk, I gave some 6 or 7 stories, and those stories I think are really great too, that are relatable, and they are helpful in understanding how to shift that energy so you can trust your intuition. And looking at the blocks, one of the stories I talked about is watching hockey, and how that hockey goalie is such an individual that has this space, and they have all this equipment, and they're there to block anything that can come through. And that's what happens a lot of times, that we block ourselves with our fears. We block ourselves with a limiting belief. We block thinking we don't deserve, or what, that can't be true. And so it's also remembering or reminding ourselves is, what is our blocks? What is our belief system that's keeping us from really being successful and moving forward in life? Because sometimes we hold on so tight to something, thinking there's nothing else better for us. And so it's, how do you surrender? How do you move forward and allow that process to unfold versus the fear of what may happen? And so the stories that are told are helping you develop that intuition even more so, and to trust that process, because we all have those blocks. We've all had these experiences that are negative. And we then even ask other people, or, that left brain that keeps telling us, don't do this, don't do this. And so all that language that's out there, that we are wired from birth to be able to be intuitive, to understand all the languages and what's being said, can be turned off because of our experiences. So when you start turning up the volume again and start trusting it again, you take these baby steps to be able to trust that intuition again, to be able to allow your heart to have the passion, to be able to follow the things that you desire, and not looking for other people's approval in order to move forward. Because other people's approval is not your GPS. It's not your psychic guided system. It's somebody else's. And so the universe is always talking, whether it's a song that you hear, someone says something, it could be a commercial. It is the nature, it's animals communicate with us. And we even talk about the tree a couple of times, about how that last leaf on the tree doesn't let go because it's afraid to surrender. And sometimes is that us, where we just keep holding on to something that no longer serves us, and allow us to flow into life and look for new experiences. And the stories we tell ourselves, the drama that we get into, the people around us, all those fears are all what we create in our mind. And so that's why you have to name, not have to, I encourage you to name your left brain, that roommate that's always negative. We use Larry in that speech, but you can use whatever name you want to tell that individual to go sit out for a while, ignore that person, saying when it's really something like analytical, you can show up, but otherwise, I don't want you in my energy field. And basically, it takes practice. A lot of people in this work say, you need to meditate, you need to be quiet. Totally agree. However, if all this other stuff is going on and there's a lot of fears and there's a lot of blocks, your intuition is not going to be utilized to the fullest advantage. So I'm going to encourage you to go into the YouTube. It's called Center for Spiritual Awakening, and go into looking for this talk that I gave a couple Sundays ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it's called Listening to the Language of the Universe. And, maybe while you're driving or taking a hot bath, wherever it's comfortable for you, listen to it and see if there's some nuggets that's going to help you open up that intuition. Because if you're watching me now, you want to know, how is my intuition working? Are my loved ones talking to me? Are my guides trying to tell me something? We want to know. And it will help you start to pay attention to the little small things that are coming through that we ignore. Do we have anyone coming on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lots of people. So There was a question.
Love the questions. My little
Let's
notes
see.
here.
Jennifer says, what are you supposed to do when you're going through something and you just have had enough and don't know how much more you can take?
I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are not going to make changes unless there's something that's really uncomfortable. And for a lot of people, including myself, sometimes it has to get really uncomfortable before I'm willing to make those changes. So if you feel like you've been pushed to the point where I'm done, and it might be, that last straw, it's okay to say, I don't know where I'm going or what this is going to look like, but I know I can't do this anymore. And that's opening up the universe to saying, show me other ways. And most likely, and I'm getting this for you personally, is you've been given signs about some things that can help give you a different advantage point, or a different turn, or a different change, but it's a little bit scary. And so sometimes when we make those changes, we feel like we're leaving others behind, or we don't know what that's going to look like. And to me, sometimes it's like, we can go back to the old patterns if you want to. You can always recreate those old patterns. That drama, you can bring it right back. But if you are moving forward, it's letting you know that maybe you don't know what you're going to experience, but it's not the old stuff that is driving you crazy and you keep talking about.
Mm-hmm.
To me, we get addicted. We get addicted to that old story about how we're the victim, or how this affects us, or what is it doing, or what people are doing to me, or what my job is doing. You have the ability to change, no matter where you live, no matter your circumstances. And then if you can't change your complete circumstances, it's changing the way you think about it. What are you learning from it? What is the advantage of being here? What opportunities can I find to change? And what can I use with the situation that I'm experiencing now?
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Well, lots of people want readings. I think
Really?
Today they're jumping right into
I
that.
must be psychic. I was thinking that.
So Elizabeth has chosen Stacy, she's on Instagram. Her handle is Stacy CSS. So Stacy, email elizabeth@debsheppard.com. And again, it's Elizabeth@debsheppard, DEBSHEPPARD.com. Email her real quick and she'll send you the link so we can bring you on Live with Deb.
Who does she want to talk to?
She wants to talk to her husband, Chris.
If she'll say.
So it'll take a few minutes to get her
Okay.
on. So we do have someone on
And when I
YouTube.
take notes here, it just helps me to be more focused because
And I'm giving you several at a time. So usually,
yeah, now we're married and she becomes abusive.
see, do you see what I do? Do you see what happens?
We need to have a conversation. Okay, who else do you have?
So on YouTube, Katie wants to connect with her son. He was 30. His name is Dustin.
Is she coming on, or I'm just doing it?
This one is a mini.
Okay.
So.
All right, Katie. First of all, I'm very sorry about your passing of your son, your child. I think, is there a father? I don't know if she can give me a thumbs up or not. Is there a father figure for you past you? Because I'm getting an older male as well. Dustin, I'm having trouble breathing with Dustin. I feel a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. I feel like things were going on for him. There's a little bit quietness with him, but a lot of stuff going on, but not talking about it. So the quietness, I feel, is like he wasn't sharing with other people sort of the things that were happening, or didn't get the advice that he needed or the assistance that he needed. But I'm getting like more of an unexpected passing. I keep getting this impact or this quick energy around him as well. So I can't tell if someone else was with him or if he was alone in this process for him. And I feel like he's been gone a little while. So he's telling me that this is not just a very recent passing, but maybe at least a year or more. And I keep getting my throat. I keep getting breathing, this heaviness here. And he's talking about the watch or the bracelet that he wants to mention. Okay, he's bringing through some humor, but I feel like before Dustin passed and during some time of his passing, I feel like there's a lot of seriousness going on. And the feeling I get from him is, I'm okay. I'm happy. I'm okay. So whatever the stories were before he passed, I just feel like there's a lot of lightness. And he's also telling me that someone else lost another child around him. So this could be a miscarriage or someone else that lost a child, but he's telling me there's another small child with him.
So she said it was unexpected and he's been gone about a year.
Yeah. Okay. Fits right. Okay. I'm so sorry, Katie. I'm going to encourage you to go to our YouTube show and subscribe to Grieving to Believing. It might be very helpful to be able to see how other parents are healing around this.
And we're waiting for
the other one.
I'm sorry about that. On Facebook, Vanjie wants to connect with her mom, Charlotte.
Vanjie?
Vanjie. Mm-hmm.
Charlotte. Okay. The first thing I get with Charlotte is a sense of it's not entitlement. It's more of a self-assured kind of individual. Like, okay, let's do this. So I feel like she may have been the person that liked to be in charge or liked to have some control of a situation. I do feel sick before she passed, but I don't feel like she was sick long or whatever happened with her. It feels like the progression is pretty quick with her. She is giving me, okay, I'm seeing 4-leaf clovers. So if there's something connection with Ireland, England, St. Patty's Day, she's bringing this up. So if that is something that makes sense to you, hopefully that's a good validation. She also has feels like she has a small dog with her. Now, it doesn't have to be a dog that you knew. It can even be one from her childhood. And she's talking about her teeth. So something around the eating, the mouth, or not be able to speak before she passed. And she's given me a thumbs up about choices that were made before her passing. She says, I know that there may have been some, either before or right after her passing, some decisions that they weren't sure. You weren't sure about what Charlotte wanted, and she's giving a thumbs up for this. And she's talking about your dad. And right now I can't tell if your dad's passed or not, but she's talking about the connection with your dad, like it's going to be okay or everything's okay. So hopefully you can give us some validation on that.
Yeah, I would love that. And then Stacy's on. As soon as she gets herself settled, we can bring her on the screen with you. She's ready to go.
Hey, Miss Chris. Miss Stacy. Talking to Chris.
Yeah, her husband's Chris. Yeah. Ready? Okay.
Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
There she is.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here. And sorry about your loss. Is your dad or Chris's dad passed too?
My dad as well.
Okay, so he came through really strong. Who older also smoked? So was there a grandfather or did your father when he was younger?
My dad was a big smoker.
Yeah, because I'm getting the cigarette smell. I'm just like, no matter what, I'm not quitting. Your dad is definitely this dude. Does that make sense?
Very manly.
And he's kind of joking about being here. Like, this is craziness. I would never do this. So he's joking about being here. I feel like he died before Chris.
He died right before Chris.
Because he feels like he was there to help Chris cross over. Because he's telling me, was Chris was also sick before he passed?
They both had brain cancer, Deb.
Okay, because I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But Chris tells me that he was healthy, but what's your dad's first name?
Terry.
I feel like your dad was not healthy.
No.
Chris was healthy. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I'm also getting that when Chris got diagnosed, it's either, I feel like him and Terry's diagnosis too was a little bit unique or a little bit different. And what they tried to do was different, even though the outcome was going to be the same. What did your grandma have?
She had a glioblastoma.
Is that what Chris had?
That's what they both had. They had different locations. My dad did not opt to treat his, but my husband fought like crazy. So you're exactly right. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what Terry just said, I lived a good life. Considering Chris, I just feel like there's still children, there's still family, there's still stuff, there's still whatever, and wanting to fight this. He's also telling me that there was there a surgery to prolong it for Chris, but okay, so I feel like it gave him a little bit more time because he just says, I did whatever it could to change this. He also says, yes, I'm haunting you in your own home. So
I'm on him too. I'm so glad. I know he is.
Okay, so I'm seeing the electronics going off. I'm seeing, kind of walking around. Like, is there a kind of a long hallway to a bedroom down the hall?
Yeah, between the boys' bedrooms and my bedroom, there's a long hall.
Okay, so he said that he paces watches and pays attention and goes in to make sure that everyone's okay. Does one of the kids have stars on the ceiling or lights for the ceiling?
They both sleep with a light on, but there's no stars.
That's okay. I keep getting that one is wanting to talk to dad in the stars or something with that connection. So I'm how old are your kids?
10 and 12, both boys. Yeah.
Okay. So it might be that you kind of use your imagination and say, dad's up there, because I feel like that's kind of a way for them to have that connection. And again, I'm so sorry for your boys as well. They are also, he's got a larger dog with him.
Oh, he does.
Did he
He had a small dog, and we had a small dog, but he's still alive.
No, was there from his childhood a larger dog, or your childhood?
I think my dad had dogs. My husband had a little dog.
Okay, I'm getting a larger dog, so he's got a larger dog. Unless the little dog that passed thinks he's a bigger dog, but it feels like a bigger dog for me. Chris is also saying being near water will be helpful.
Okay.
So where are you located?
Here in Colorado.
Okay, so I'm assuming maybe some healing near the ocean, near water is going to be also very healing. He hasn't been gone very long.
8 years now. So not that long.
Has there been another, because your boys are really little, is there another loss recently?
My sister in 2016, her name is Sherry.
Okay, so she's popping in because I keep getting someone more current. So she's there with them as well. Wow. She feels like her story is completely different than Terry and Chris.
Very different. Yeah.
Like night and day, and whether it's an illness or she caused some of it, but I feel like she's taking some accountability different than Terry is.
Yeah, yeah, we think she had some addiction. I think she maybe accidentally overdosed, but I think she had some major health issues as well.
Okay. Yeah. So
Oh,
she's here with them as well.
oh,
Okay.
wow.
So anything you want to ask anybody, Chris or somebody?
Um, I want to know if they're going to bring anyone new, a new relationship into my.
Yay. Well, that's when you come see me and do my classes. If you're going on that one. I think you've been a really good mom, and that's where your focus has been. So as soon as you're able to, I think you're out there, but I feel like you're still one foot's in, one foot's out. Does that make sense?
In some ways, I feel pretty ready, but I can see how that would be. I've been through a lot. Yeah,
Yeah. And so being through a lot, it's like you're not just going to jump in and get that project.
sure, true.
Okay. Well, thank you, Stacey, for coming on. I'm so sorry, but you have a lot of family over there. And obviously, Chris is walking down the hallway, turn lights on and off. Okay.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you.
So much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Well, wow, she's been through a lot, and we want to send her just a lot of love and life and a really great partner, right? Marriage is possible after a loss. We always want you to join us on our Facebook Lives and our other events, but what I would like for everyone to do is subscribe to our Grieving to Believing show that's on YouTube. And we launched it last week. Thank goodness I'm married because she reminded me. Something we're very proud about. It's helping parents with the loss of a child or children, and having them also help other people know that you can heal and have joy and have those connections. So thank you so much for joining us. Always remember that even though your loved ones are on the other side, they are still by your side. Thank you for joining us. I'm Deb Sheppard.